Stop and make sure you don't waste your time using the wrong slime. Not all slimes are made the same. We're going to review the damage of every single slime and their utility so you can understand which slimes to use for your staging, boss fights, and slime legion needs. I'll put their damage in a chart and finally in a tier list so you can fully visualize which slimes are the best to use. But real quick, we're approaching 1,000 subscribers extremely fast. I really want to give back for all the support this channel has gotten. On top of the giveaway from my #1 build guide video, I want to do one more for when we hit 1,000 subscribers, since it's a huge milestone we're hitting together. Just comment anything here and be subscribed to the channel for updates, and I'll choose one comment in a week or two after we hit the 1,000 subscriber mark for a $50 Google Play or Apple App Store gift card for any country. We tested the staging damage output of each slime 10 times and took the average of their damage, all using the same build to keep the results consistent. The build used for each slime is the following frog build. This was done to keep the least amount of damage variance per battle in order to give us an accurate result. The frog build is very standard. I've covered it in my previous videos. It is a very consistent build, and that's why we're going to use it for this test, because the answer it'll provide us will be more accurate than any other build we could use. But it is not the best build out there. I recommend checking out my other videos for the #1 build you can use. The maximum HP of the boss is 455S at Inferno 1, stage 6-8. And each result will be how much damage is done, not how much HP is left after the boss battle. As you can see from the chart here, this was the breakdown for the damage of each slime on average based on 10 battles repeated per slime, which yes, did take forever to do with all the slimes available, but I wanted to produce the most accurate result possible for each of the battles for you to be able to use. Take this result with a grain of salt. Damage doesn't mean a slime is better overall than the others, and I'll explain why shortly. But first, we can clearly see that there is a trend with slimes. Any slime that doesn't have a companion damage or ally damage related skill will essentially end up doing the same damage. If you look at all the following slime skills, they revolve around attack and not companion or ally damage, which results in far less damage output. As a result, they landed in the exact same spot in terms of damage, dealing around 104S per battle. And with this, they find themselves at the bottom of the barrel for stage damage on stage bosses. But for staging, use this bar graph to choose which slime to use. Hero's damage is an estimation, but we are likely close with our guess as he will outpace Ignis as the top damage dealer. If you only have free-to-play slimes, in late game it does not matter who you use, but early game, Astri or Ornus is your go-to slime, since their skills do make a difference in the amount of damage you do early game. Now for our tier list, we're not going to just base it off damage, because if we did that, 10 of our 16 slimes would unfortunately end up in the F tier, with only 6 actually doing more than our base amount of damage. So we will start in order. Aku is unfortunately F tier as they have 0 utility, and his skill is useless in all areas of the game. Serpine is B tier because her skill is extremely useful for Slime Legion. The evasion helps you survive longer and beat stages you wouldn't otherwise. Astri is C tier, being very useful in early game and for free-to-play players who need her. Cabalus is F tier, both in terms of slime skill and damage, being absolutely useless. Kroby is A tier. If you have him currently and are pressed to purchase either Ignis or Hero through their passes, he is perfectly fine to use, especially since he is amazing in both Slime Legion and boss stages. Melissa is B tier, slightly less damage than Kroby, but having the same overall utility as him. Diva isn't that amazing. Her skill is good for Slime Legion when tanking, but I would put her in D tier as she isn't going to be your go-to slime that you'll end up using often. Osteon is B tier because his knockback utility in Slime Legion is amazing. Even if he is an optimal 4 damage output, he is still an amazing slime. Ornus is in D tier, good for early game free to play players, but not useful based on his skill, landing him in D tier. Ghost is in B tier, and I'll explain why. Ghost will be one of your top damage dealers in Slime Legion, since their skill will amplify based on your team's companion attack, increasing with each mob killed. So they are a must for Slime Legion runs, and I wouldn't do a Slime Legion run without Ghost on my team. Amber goes into F tier, nothing special to say here. Aku and Cabalus are exactly in the same boat as her. Mecha is our 5th highest damage dealer, is amazing for tanking in Slime Legion due to the transformation animation time, and isn't a terrible unit overall. I would put him at the bottom of B tier. Santa, F tier, same as Amber, Cabalus, and Aku. Nothing special to be said here. Penguin is pretty good. Bottom of the B tier. Their damage and knock-up utility, which is good for Slime Legion runs, puts them in that spot. Ignis would be a solid S tier choice. She has insane damage output and is currently the 2nd best hero for stage bosses, dealing an amazing 148 S damage. What more is there to say? Now saving the best for last, Hero, currently the best damage dealer in the game due to their insanely short cooldown on their skill and its amazing high damage output. Overall, a very nice unit, dealing an estimated 157 S damage, topping off Ignis as our number 1 slime in this tier list. I recommend you go check out my number 1 build guide video for the best build to currently use in Legend of Slime that no other build can even come close to beating. Well, that's it for the tier list. I'm sure that helped a little bit in deciding what slime to use. Be sure to enter into the giveaway and enjoy.